If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
So, have you worked on reports before, Sangram?
Uh, no, I have some knowledge. I think
Okay.
not exclusively. I have not worked. You mean the workday reports, right?
Yes, correct.
Workday.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
for
Mm.
Prism, there would be a prerequisite. So we should have knowledge of Workday reports to get understand the Prism
Yeah.
analytics.
Correct, correct. I think
Okay.
there was
Mhm.
there was some session, like one or two sessions I had attended, then the training got interrupted. So
Okay.
I know basics of like the simple reports and how to create a report and things like that, but I'm not like usually, but my domain is in strategy reporting, so that way I am an that, but as such as
Mhm.
workday I mean workday reports I know basics.
Okay. Then let's get started. So
Mm.
Prism analytics. So Prism is like we will actually get the data from external system. Suppose you have some data outside of Workday. Okay, you are maintaining
Mm-hmm.
your headcount data in outside of Workday. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and now there is a need, you want to pull that outside of Workday data into Workday, and you also want Workday data. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so there is two types of data we need in our Workday. Okay, so in Prism, what we do generally, we can get the data from external system as well as in
Mm-hmm.
Workday, and we can create our own data source. Okay, we can
Mm-hmm.
create our own data source like a Workday data source. So
Okay.
in Workday data source, like we have
Mm-hmm.
all active and terminated workers and workers for SCM reporting, this kind of uh, data source available in Workday. So let
Mm-hmm.
me share my screen and you will get the idea. Okay, so if I use any author report, uh, mm, I'm viewing this report. Okay, for this what we need is we need data source. Okay, first we
Mm-hmm.
will select for any creation we need a data source. Okay, this is data source, and this is Workday delivered data source.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Workday delivered data source, standard data source.
Mm-hmm.
For what we do is we create our own data source like this. We will
Correct.
create our own data source and we will create the source, and we can use that data source in a discovery and so the reports which are built on those data sources which we had created, we can use that report further in integrations as well. Okay, this is a high level overview of Prism. We will go step. We can learn how to create it, say, data source, and how what is so go step by step. Okay, so this is high level overview. So we have a Prism terminologies. So let me
Mm-hmm.
show you. If you have a notebook, you can note down. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. So there are, let me write here. So we have a first, we will use quite frequent data catalog. Okay.
Mm.
So you can note down the topics.
Yeah.
Data
Yeah.
catalog. Data catalog is nothing, but the data catalog is a central location. Okay, where users can access and create Prism data source. So for creation of this data source, we have a data catalog. Okay, there is a report data catalog. This is a hub where we create our own data source. This is a like central location. This is central location data catalog where we create our own data source. So uh, we will go. We will let know. Okay, we will check later stage.
Yeah.
Just for your information. So this
Mm.
is so we have a data catalog. This is a central location where we create our own data source. Okay, you can note down this. So we will frequently going to use this data catalog. You will get understand. Okay, and central location. So let me also write down so you can easily note down. Okay, this is one terminology. Give me a moment. And the terminology is data set.
Mhm.
Data sets. Okay, data set. Data set is object associated with raw source of data. Okay, so suppose you have a data outside of Workday. You are maintaining ratings like your workers rating outside of Workday. So for pulling those data, either it could be in CSV format. Okay, so you can get the data in CSV format from outside of Workday, and you can create these tables and data sets. Okay, so there are two types of data sets. We have a base data set and drive data set. So
Mm.
base data set is like actual raw data source data set.
Mm.
Okay, this base data set will contain actual data, raw data. So whether it could be we can get the data from SFTP. Okay, and from file and from custom report. So we can create base data set from these three types we can create. Okay, and the derived data set is like we can make when we will create the derived data set, then in that drive dataset we can create certain transformation. There will be some stages, so we will check later stage. I'll show you how to do that, and all this thing we can learn in this session. Okay, so we have a data set. There are two types of data set. Base data set. So this base data set is nothing but actual data, actual raw data. second derived data set. In derived data set, we can perform certain transformations and calculations, and we can also joins two different sets. Or tables. We also have one data object tables. So next would be table. So there are three terminologies as of now: data catalog, which is central location, and data set. There are two types of data set: base data set and derived data set. And now we have a table. So in data catalog, we have an option to create table. Okay, a table stores and represents data in a tabular format. Okay, tables have user defined schema. Okay, if I click on this, like create table, so suppose let's name test demo. So when we will give the name of the table, then it will automatically API name automatically pops out, and we can select the tags and description. So there are three options. Okay, so this is schema source. So table works on schema. Schema means structure. Schema means structure. So if we load, either we can load the file and we can manually input. Like if I click on manual input, then first I have to let table know what would be the field type and what would be the columns. So suppose if I have to add field number 1, employee number, ID. So here, so the field type, choose any of the field type in the table. So this is the so table works on schema. Schema, we can define the structure, what field we want. So based on that, we can load our external file in the table. Okay. So we will see. We'll, so table is like okay. So Workday calculated field, you know. Okay. Calculated field. So these names quite frequent. So Workday calculated field. So it's a work. So in Workday on Workday project. Okay, so there was one report. Okay, let's go back to our report. So we have a task. Okay, create calculated field. So I'm running this in Workday, and any calculated field Workday data source, it is Workday calculated field. Okay, on worker business object. So you are familiar with that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So there are many we can use. Okay. So this is Workday calculated field, and similarly Prism calculated field. Suppose this is table. Okay, and let me take one data set. So this I am picking the existing data set in this already created, and I can view because I have the security to these data set, these tables which someone has created. All the people who are working on Prism can use the same location. This is a central location where all people will create. Okay, so let me show you. So here we have options: view lineage, edit transformations, and share and make a copy. So if I right click, so there are options. So if I click on edit transformation, so here we have a like we can create our own field. So here we have an option add field. Okay. So in add field, we can so this is a so we can rename. We can create our own field. We can rename like test and any name we can provide here. And so so if I click on this, it will so the window is open, edit expression. Okay, we have a certain function we can create calc field here. So in this we can actually so this is the presentation language, and we can write a code. Suppose we have to extract something, we have a certain function here, we can create our own calc field. There are a number of functions we have, lag, sum, there are window functions, row number. So these are one, and also we have a text function, like we can join a string, we can substring, we can concat, and there are logical operators we can select, like either say if we want if else, so we can use case statement. So this kind of thing we can do, and we will do in our further session. Okay, so calculated field, let's delete this, we don't need. Okay, this is done. Field on the business object. Prism calculated field. Okay, and we can see this Prism calculated field once the data source is published. So eventually, so we will create base data set and drive data set, and we can perform certain transformation, and eventually we will publish that data source. So that data source will be able to access in Workday UI. So this is a data. So we cannot directly access in Workday until and unless we publish that. Okay, so we will see that. So these are the terminologies. Okay, we have a Prism data source. So Prism data source is we will. So this is nothing but publish data source. Publish. So here we have an option base dataset, drive dataset. So so in the short form we can say BDS and DDS. This will we will call as DDS, and this we will call as BDS. And let me show you here. Okay. This is published data source. And we have a published tape letter. So in PDS, let me search PDS one. If I click on view, so this is I have searched the published PDS means published data source. So published we call it as a PDS. This is nothing but drive data set only. So we have only two types of data set: drive data set and base data set. Okay, so the PDS we call the drive data set as a PDS because eventually we will going to publish this PDS. So we have an option to publish here. So if so this is published, and once we click on this publish button, then this resource can be available in Workday for reporting. Okay, so these are the main terminologies, and we have a publish button, and we have talked about pipeline. Pipeline is a container of stages that models the flow of how data transform. So in here, so this is base data set. Base data set in the sense. So how I will define as a base data set, because this is raw data table. We can see table, and this is also yeah. So here we have a drive data set. This is drive DDS. So if this table and view and edit. Okay. Okay. So these are. So there is only pipeline which we are getting here. Let me show you the base data set if someone has created for. Yeah, this is BDS. Okay, base data set. BDS means base data set. So if I click on edit transformations, so there are options, edit transformations. So there is only one pipeline. This is the pipeline. Okay. Yeah, primary pipeline. So a container of stages. So in this BDS, there would be only pipeline. So the best practice for BDS would be one pipeline. And if we want to add another pipeline, like we can add stages, we can filter, we can group by, we can manage field in BDS. In DDS, if we will create the DDS, then the options we will get a union, joins. There are and unpure. There would be more options. So let me show you. So BDS contains one pipeline only, and DDS. Let me open the DDS. So here we have a one pipeline as of now, but in DDS we can add. Like suppose we have to filter. We have to filter, like we only want to get one row. So add and store is equals to store, like our Workday filter 203. So one row is coming. If I click on done, so here there would be two pipelines. Okay, and stage is also a pipeline. Okay, this is a pipeline object. So in BDS, there would be less options. Like we can only filter, manage field, and group by. But in DDS, we have a joins, union, unpaired option. Okay. So in filter, so if I click on this stage, the import one, import is we directly get the data from the BDS base data set. Okay, so here we can see two rows, and in the further stage, I have added one stage like filter. In this filter, there is only one, and we can create more stages based on our requirement. So let me delete this filter and save it. Every time we will any changes we'll do, first we need to save this change and data set will save. And now pipeline and stages we have covered. Stage. Stage. Stage we have covered. Now the next object is lineage. Lineage. So the lineage, the dataset lineage is displays dataset dependencies. Okay, lineage. Let me open any of the dataset. This is So if I click on this, so we have an option. So here we have a view lineage. Okay, lineage is, it will show you the dependencies. Okay. This data set is dependent on where. So if I when I clicked on lineage, so it showed me that this this data set, the DDS is dependent on this table. This DDS is dependent on this table, and this DDS is the data in this DDS is coming from this table. So the lineage purpose is just to show the dependencies. So suppose there are 2-3 data base data set, and we are combining in one DDS. Then we can check if something is wrong in the BDS. So we can check by lineage step. So any doubts, any questions till now? So we have covered data catalog. Data catalog, it is a central location where user can access and create Prism datasets. Dataset, there are two types of dataset. Base dataset, which contains actual and raw data only. Okay, if you suppose you have a CSV file and which is coming from outside of the Workday, then we can store in base dataset, and in further stages we can make the transformation on that CSV. Okay, and we can also add the calculation in drive dataset. There is a table, and we can store the data in tables, and we can the transformation in tables as well. There are certain operations, so we will check that. So Workday calculated field, Prism calculated field, Prism data source, pipeline, stage, and lineage. So these are the terminologies which we had talked. And now let's check the flow. Now we will check the process flow. Okay, any doubt till now? Sangram.
So why they need to create table like these? Data sets are
so table, yeah. So we will talk. So in the table, suppose so in table, let me edit this. So you mean doing the same why we need table, huh? So in table, so there are advantages in table. We can create our own. We can structure it in the data set. In the table, if create table, let test. So either we can upload file and manual input. In manual input, we can structure the table. Okay, we can create our own field. Like suppose I want in this table only to want employee ID and location, and employee ID or first name or last name. So we can structure the table. Okay, in the table we can perform. Let me show you. So we in the table also we can. So there is a data change task. Okay, if I click on create data change task. So let me show you. So in the source option, so I need to create. Let me create. So we will see this later, but we can perform certain operations like insert, upsert, update. Okay. These types of transformation we can able. Okay, we can perform these types of operations. Okay. So any doubts?
So in reporting, when you say report side, so the base data set is like the simple report and the derived data set is the advanced report. Is that how?
No, no, no. So base data set is like raw data. So
Raw data.
yeah, base data set is raw data. Like suppose you have a CSV file, okay, and you want to store it in this data catalog. Data catalog is a central location, and you have to first store that file. Then we need to store that file. Then we need base data set. Okay, and we can also store the report data in this in BDS. So we'll see later.
Okay.
We will
Okay.
create, and you will get familiar with this.
Okay.
And any question?
No.
Okay, let me go ahead then. So now we will move ahead with process flow. Process flow. So we have such steps: acquire data, okay. So this is the process flow. Process flow. So will acquire the data. Acquire data means load the data in BDS. Okay. So there could be different options we have. Either the data can be available in SFTP, or it could be from simple file, and also the data could be from custom report. So first step would be the acquire data. Okay, and then we will transform data via DDS, derived data set. So we can add transformation stage like I showed you before. Again, I'll show you. If I click on any of the derived data set, DDS, I'll click on edit. And here we have a stage. Filter, group by, join, manage field. So this kind of transformation is available, and we can transform by these stages. Okay, so the first step is acquire data, and the second step is transform data, and third step is publish. So if I click on this view, so we only publish the PDS one. So we create, suppose we have so there is no PDS I can see. So here there is a PDS. Okay, let me open this view. So we have a option here to publish. So first we will acquire the data. We will get the data from SFTP, and if there is a file, we can get the data from file, or we can also get the data from Workday. So there are three three methods we can acquire the data, and then we can transform the data in a derived data set and publish the data. And the data is published. Once the completed and the data is published, then we will use this in reporting. So report on Prism Analytics data. So this is the process flow. So we can create reports. We can create reports. Dashboard, a discovery report, using the PDS, using the Prism data source. So there are 4 steps for this process flow: acquire data, transform data, and then publish data source. And on top of that published data source, we can create report and report, discovery reports, dashboard. Okay, any doubt in the Sangram?
No, that's fine.
Okay, so let's go to the okay, let me check the files if I have the files. So we can actually go through the Prism data source. So let's create one file, CSV file. Let me load this file in PDS. Okay. So in this file, let me open. This is plan. There are 2 columns. and one is for employee ID and the second one is first name. Okay, let me create one table. Let me create one table for this and create table. So test demo. So when I'll put the name of table, then this will automatically populate it, the API, and we can tag, like we can add tag, we can create tag demo. Okay, so so when I type the demo, then it will create a new tag. If there is if there is a tag, so these two tags is available, and when we will type demo, then this will create a new tag demo. So it will give us we can easily find this type of data set, okay, via tag. So there are three options. We can upload the file in tables. File upload, existing table or data set, and manual upload. And we can also, in the current release, Workday release, so there is a new feature where we can actually get the data from SFTP as well in tables. Okay, so in the file upload, if I click on file, so we have to select the file. And next. So in this, so what I have created has two columns, employee ID and first name. Okay, and suppose you have a file which is coming from external system and you have to load. So the file, the first need for that file is the file should be in this format only. Either could be a comma separated. That's what I have created, like CSV format I have created. Okay, and it could be a tab and semicolon pipe. Apart from this, if there is a format of that file, then it will not support it. Okay, so the file should be format only. So I'm using the comma separated. Okay, comma separated file. So I have clicked on comma and value of the first row. If there is a double quotes in between, we can escape. So these are the functions we can select. So the main thing is the file should format only. Okay, so if I click on next, or before next, if I click on next, so yeah, so we have two fields, okay, which created. So now we have an option. So in the employee ID, I have created one file, right? And this Prism automatically identifies this employee ID is numeric. But in I don't want this employee ID in numeric. I want in text format. So I have a privilege to change this numeric to text. We can change. So let me change to text. Okay, we can change the data type from here, and let's save. When save, table saved successfully, data loading in progress. So when it is the insert operation is performed and it is in progress. So let me refresh. It's still in progress. Progress. Yeah, so it's successfully loaded. Okay, we can check these activities in the activity tab. We can check and the refresh. So it will show us the operation. It's an insert. Okay, we have inserted two columns. Let me open that text file. So we have inserted two rows. One, two. Two rows we have inserted. So it counted two rows. So there are 5 or 6 rows, then it will count it 6 rows. Okay, it automatically calculate the rows. And there are 7 fields, but we have loaded only 2 fields. Why 7 fields? These 5 fields are which is Workday delivered, the Prism delivered field. So it is like load ID, load timestamp. These are Workday fields. So these field. So we can by these field we can check at what time data is loaded. So this for this type of checking we can use these fields. So there are okay. Let's check it out. Edit. So we have created this table. Okay, if I click on view, if this table view, this is list view I am checking, and the table view, if I click, so it will show me the data, okay, which I have loaded. The values looks correct. We can check this. We can only check 20k. If the data is more than 20k, then we cannot check here. We need to check in the reports. We have to create the reports in Workday. So we check 20k samples. Okay. So there are only 2 rows, so there is no need to check 20k. Any doubts for loading the data in tables?
So you can load only CSV files, right? There is no like file.
No, this is no CSV. Like we can load. Let me show you again. So there are CSV is comma separated. We can also load by it. So let me show you again. Demo.
So yeah, that's fine. I think that we saw like so that is. But existing tables mean we can import the table from like for example if you have a SQL server, you can import from there.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. So in here we have a field delimiter. So the format of the text in between the delimiter would be either tab, colon, semicolon, pipe. Let me edit this. Okay, and I'll save this. Edit the pipe. Okay.
Oh yeah, that I get it. I think you can have both.
Okay, is it fine? No,
Yeah.
you got it. Yeah. So this is this kind of semicolon colon. So the
So the other option that we saw for like importing from the table. So if I have like SQL server, then you can connect it to any table source or which kind of table source?
So for this SQL, Let me check. Demo. So existing table or data set. So this is not the SQL server. This is existing table or data set. So if I click on here, so in this data catalog, this data catalog, we have n number of table which already created and n number of data set which already created. Okay, data catalog is a central location where we create, like you create a data set, I create a data set, someone also create a data set. So we can use those table and data set to get the details. We can use those. Suppose this table we have created and we want to use this table to load. So we can use.
Right.
So it's loaded.
So basically you cannot, except for like the comma separated or those text files, you cannot actually connect to any external data source, only to this. So the data should be
external data source we can connect via SFTP. Suppose you have loaded the file in SFTP and we can get the file. In table, in this tenant there is no functionality, but Workday releases in this release Workday there is a new feature which we can get the data, which we can get the data in tables from SFTP. Okay.
No, the SFTP is still like a file, right? So just
yes.
It's still like a file in a location.
Yeah.
No, yes. You cannot make, so from the Prism or work functionality, you cannot really connect to, like, if for example external data, as I said, in SQL Server, right? So connection that you can make to the SQL Server, you have to export the data from SQL Server to,
yes, correct.
CSV
We
file
have to
and
export. So suppose I have given one example in the starting of class. So suppose you have like 5 years of employee data outside of Workday in SAP, and you want to pull that data in this, then we need to store that. We have to get that in CSV. Okay, so data conversion team, there is a separate team, data conversion team, that the Prism consultant of this. Okay, data conversion team will provide the file, the CSV file, and the Prism consultant will load the file here. Prism consultant will create the base data set and will load the in PDS, and also the consultant will get the data from Workday, and the Prism consultant will blend both the data and create the report. So yeah, this is. So this is any doubt?
No, I think I just want to know, like, typically, like if the data, like the external file, right? Is it how big that the file can be that like Workday can process, because there could be millions of external file.
Yeah, so I have a document. Let me search here. I have a document. So there is a limitation, like till let me show you. Let me check in my local system. Yeah, so file upload, you can note down file upload size is 500 MB. Okay. Let me write down here. File upload maximum file size is 500 MB. And okay, and the next SFTP load. Okay, SFTP server is the compressed SFTP server. One GB, less than 1 GB. Okay, if the file is compressed over SFTP, then the file size less than 1 GB can be. And if uncompressed, less than 10 GB. API. So we can also load the data from API. Okay. API maximum file size. To 56 MB. Okay, so this is the limitations of that Prism. Okay, file upload maximum size will be 500 MB, and SFTP we can get the file like 999 MB compressed, and if uncompressed, then 9999. Okay, if the API maximum is the API load, then 256 MB. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Sangram?
No. That should be.
Okay. Okay. So now we will perform the data change task. We have created the table. Okay. In that table, we have uploaded 2 rows. Okay. Now we will update this table. Suppose I have to update Kumar. Okay. I have changed the name, right? Earlier it was Carter, and now it is Kumar. Okay, let me save this change. And I will perform create data change task. Okay. So source file we can upload. So the connection we can set. Okay, connection I am selecting the file upload because I have a data in file. I want to change the existing tables data. Okay, something is wrong and I want to change that. So I want to update. So this is the file I have loaded and the source it's loaded. Then next. So again it will show me that again structure the same loading. And the next. And we have to select the target table. So we have a demo, test demo. Mm, okay, so here we cannot find the employee ID. Why? Because there is an option where we can set external ID. Let me do that first. So in that table, let me edit this. We have a user's external ID. Okay, once we will select this, then it would be a primary key and it would be a reference for updating the table. So we have to select. We have to select any of the, either it could be a first name or employee ID. We have to select one key just for reference to update the table. Let me do that. Let me create again. Okay, this will not work. That let me go back and cancel this. Okay, I'll create the table again and we'll select that. First, it would be a Kumar. Okay, then we will change it to Carter. Here, it is Kumar. Okay, and employee ID, I will select user's external ID. Okay, we have to select. We are selecting this employee ID as a primary, and save this change. Okay, it's successfully loaded, and we will check the data. So it's a Kumar. Okay, now we have to. We don't need this. This is wrong. So now we identified like this is wrong. So we have to update. So let's update the table. So I'm putting any name. Okay. Let's data change task quick action. So we can access here as well. Create data change task. We can access for this table, and we can also create the data change from data catalog. Okay, so this is our table, and if we want to change the data in this table, then we can perform create data change task. Okay, or The same thing we can do in data catalog. In data catalog, the same thing we can do. Data change task, source, open, the file is loaded. Next. So earlier it was Kumar. In this table we have a Kumar. Now we have to update this Kumar to Carter. Let's date RK test. So here it is employee ID. Is all automatically populated and first name. Okay. This is fine. And click on. Okay, this is mapping. So yeah, so in target, in the target step, we have a operation. We have a operation. Either it could be an insert, truncate and insert, delete, update, upsert. Sangam?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So insert means you simply insert the data. Okay. It will if I click on insert, Workday keeps any existing data in the target table and adds to it data from the source. Okay, so all the instruction is here. Okay, insert, and if we click on truncate and insert, Workday deletes all the existing data in the truncate table and replace it with the data from the source. So we want to update. Okay, we want to update. So what? First, let's check update. So Workday updates existing data in the target table based on data from the source. And upsert. Workday insert data from the source if it does not exist in the target table and updates the data if it does. Okay. So upsert in this is update and insert. Upsert in the sense update and insert. It's a like first it will check whether it if this is the field and rows it does not exist in the target table, it will update. Okay. So for this I'll use the update one. And next this employee ID and date key. Save and run. So we can check the data change activities. In the data catalog, we have a data change activities section. If we click, so we have run this task right now, for RK test demo, and it is queued. If I click on this refresh button, it is in progress. When it's completed, we can check whether it's updated or not. It's successfully done. The data change task we have created, so we can check in the data change activities, and it's successfully done, and 2 rows is updated.
Yeah. Hey, okay. Rohit, can you give me 2 minutes, please? Just 2 minutes. Okay. Hello.
Yeah. So this here you can see earlier it was Kumar and we have updated Carter. Okay, it's updated. So for any data change update or any of the data change activity, we can use data change task. In here we can also if we so either there are two ways. Either we can go quick action and create data change task, or from the data catalog we have a create and data change task. Okay, so here if I click on activities, so we have recently updated. First we have inserted 2 rows, and the second operation we have done is update operation. In the activity tab we can see. Any doubt till now? Go ahead.
No. So basically, these are all integration things, right? Once we import the external data.
Yes. So this is the table. Okay, we are so in that data set. So in the we don't have the operations. The operations is only we have in table.
Tables. Okay.
Yeah, only we have in tables, not in data sets.
Okay.
Okay, so we have updated. So other operations we can take tomorrow. Okay, we can continue tomorrow the operations, and also the data set we will create the data set, and we will create the data sets and the tables. Okay, in the tomorrow session and 3 operations remaining, we will also perform these 3 operations tomorrow. Okay, and the same time will work for you.
Yeah, same time will work. Yeah, tomorrow I'll join on time. I just asked time, but so tomorrow the same time, right? 8:30.
Yeah, or any other availability you have.
So the other thing is in the morning, but you said 5:30, right? Because in the morning, if you want to do, then I can do 1 hour in the morning. Like you said, 5:30 CST, right? So
so basically for 1 hour, so for 2 hour we can actually much understand the prism.
Then this time is good. Yeah.
Okay, this time is fine.
Right.
Okay, then fine. I'll take the session on this time.
Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow we will continue. Okay, we will continue on the 3 other operations. Today we have seen insert and update. We will see tomorrow upsert and truncate and delete. And there is one more option we can see, and the base data set creation. Okay, tomorrow we will see. Okay, these 2 things we can see tomorrow, and at the end of this course you will be able to create your own data source, and you can do that. Okay,
cool.
Yeah. Okay, any questions?
No,
Any questions?
I have questions, but I think let's finish the transformation, the basic stuff. When we get to blending, probably I'll have more questions.
Yeah. Sure thing.
Sure.
Okay. Then yeah. And also do you have tenant credentials or to perform?
No, I think the ZaranTech, I think the rep was going to give me. He said that I have 1 month of tenant access, but I'm going to ping him. So maybe tomorrow morning I'll get it.
Yeah, sure. You can perform the same activity. If you need any help, let me know. Okay?
Sure. Yeah. That's my plan. I practice like tomorrow or before we start. And then if any issues, I'll connect with you.
Yeah, sure. Let me know if you face any issues. Sure. Okay.
Sure. Thanks. Take care.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.